Chosen ones. Listen closely, for the atmospheric grid has just completed its pivot. The gears of fate are finally grinding into a new position. It's here. January 27th marks the exact second where reality begins to turn. Something has been building for weeks beneath the surface of your mundane life. A gathering pressure, a stacking of silent signals. While everything looked normal to the unawakened, the foundations were being rewired. And now, the moon shifts, changing direction with an authority that cannot be ignored. What felt stuck is finally loosening. What felt delayed is gaining a lethal velocity. Sudden, piercing thoughts are arriving without warning, and emotions are hitting with a strength your old self could not contain. This isn't confusion, it is alignment taking form. The moon is manually adjusting your path, forcing open a doorway that permanently alters how your next chapter unfolds. But before I reveal the 5 miracle signs that are currently approaching your field, you must seal your transition. Like this video right now to signal to the cosmic overseer that you are no longer a passenger of the past. In the comments below, I want you to type the code TURN27 to anchor your energetic signature. Type TURN27 to declare to the primal architect, the stuck phase is dead. I am moving with the turn. My new reality is here. Subscribe the holy days and activate the bell, for as the chapter unfolds, this transmission is your only radar through the turning point. The 5 miracle signs approaching you are not mere symbols or lucky chances. They are hard proof that a new reality has begun to crystallize around you. This is not a subtle adjustment. It is a total structural shift. The good news is simple. The vacuum of the past few months is being filled with movement. Life is finally stepping out of the stuck phase. The mechanism is active. The signals are real. The turn has started. The old reality is a ghost. Your new life starts now. Chosen ones. Listen closely, for the things that have been stagnant for so long are finally beginning to make sense. The delays are clearing. Progress is no longer a distant hope. It is a tangible reality manifesting in your everyday life. Tonight, the energy surrounding January 27th feels fundamentally different. This is not a subtle shift. The moon is moving in a way that is reconfiguring the very flow of your existence. Patterns that have been repeating without reason are finally revealing their purpose. Situations that felt frozen in time have suddenly received a divine push. It is as if the universe has pressed a button and life is accelerating in directions you were prepared for without even realizing it. The numbers, the alignments, and the timing are locking into place with mathematical precision. There are no coincidences here. Every choice and every small action you take is echoing with a new frequency, creating the vacuum necessary for real miracles to appear. Even the most ordinary moments now hold profound weight, acting as sacred signposts, guiding you toward your ultimate growth. Feel the recalibration within your temple, the mind. Your thoughts feel lighter, sharper, and easier to navigate. The mental fog is dissolving. The body. You feel more active, more awake, and less weighed down by the density of the old world. The routine. Your days have stopped feeling like a repetitive loop and have started feeling like a journey toward a specific, destined destination. On a deeper level, this shift brings a spiritual awakening that is both natural and effortless. Your awareness is expanding without force. Your confidence is building without ego. Life has stopped working against you and has begun working with you, ensuring that everything moves forward in a smooth, steady, and unstoppable way. The astrology behind January 27th reveals a rare celestial configuration that triggers these profound changes. The lunar movements, combined with specific planetary positions, are pushing for progress on a deeply personal level. What was once paused has found its momentum. What was once unclear is now showing its true face. Even the simplest routine today carries the seeds of a new opportunity. A single call, a chance meeting, or a casual conversation could be the divine blessing that opens the doors you've been knocking on for years. The universe is not demanding anything from you right now. It is simply providing the opening. When truly observed, January 27th reveals itself to be much more than a routine lunar progression. It stands as a pivotal window, a fertile moment designed for the deliberate manifestation of nascent ideas, the initiation of long-deferred projects, and the keen recognition of critical opportunities previously veiled by the mundane rush of life. Subtle cues begin to surface in the most unexpected corners of your day, providing unmistakable evidence that this forward momentum is not accidental. It is tangible confirmation that meaningful progress naturally unfolds when internal readiness precisely aligns with external cosmic timing. This specific celestial configuration imprints a lingering quality upon the hours. Long after the clock advances, a quiet, almost imperceptible force continues its work in the background. By sharpening our focus on these minute details and remaining primed for immediate intuitive action, breakthroughs and desired results can materialize with astonishing speed. The preceding days, perhaps heavy with inertia or unresolved tension, now feel significantly lighter in comparison, swept away by a gathering sense of natural momentum. Every choice made tonight, regardless of how minor or fleeting it seems, carries an unusual amount of energetic weight. What is initiated or acknowledged right now possesses the potential for exponential expansion in the immediate days to follow. The goal here is not frantic acceleration, rather, it is the meditative act of identifying the forces already in motion and granting them permission to expand freely. January 27th offers an exceptional and rare convergence, a singular chance for profound personal growth, for the quiet unfolding of small miracles, and for stepping decisively into a territory that feels genuinely and utterly new. By cultivating the ability to discern these subtle signs, acting only when the impulse feels perfectly timed, and placing innate trust in the universe's schedule, opportunities for transformative change begin to appear effortlessly and naturally, entirely devoid of force or the need for excessive analysis. Today opens a vast, expansive space where mental boundaries dissolve and thoughts can stretch into dimensions they rarely access. January 27th is marked by a profound cosmic shift that gently, yet firmly, nudges all elements into forward motion. It is a precise moment where the lunar cycle intersects masterfully with the principles of timing and focused attention, establishing a vibrational rhythm that feels both distinctly unusual and powerfully magnetic. As you settle into this unique energetic flow, there arises a distinct feeling that the external world is inherently ready to reflect and materialize what has long been held within your deepest self. Previously unseen patterns, those lingering in the background hum of your energy field, now begin to reveal clear hints about potential paths forward. A quiet, intuitive awareness takes root in the mind, keenly observing how even the most fleeting moments gains substance. You may notice how a casual conversation carries unusual gravity, or how a simple, previously tedious task now feels charged with unexpected energy. This is all part of a finely calibrated, subtle signal system. Thoughts and long-held intentions naturally begin to align with external events that have merely been awaiting this specific trigger date. Even mundane activities, like traversing familiar corridors or observing the actions of passers-by, assume a markedly different rhythm. Breathing transcends its typical role as a mere bodily process. It becomes the direct mechanism for synchronizing with the enveloping cosmic pulse. Each inhale creates expansive internal space. Each exhale skillfully releases layers of tension and static that have accumulated unnoticed. The physical body begins responding to this precise timing in fascinating and unexpected ways. Movements that usually feel arbitrary or disjointed now possess a fluid, intentional flow, as if the universe itself has composed a new, resonant beat for the day. January 27th presents a rare and potent opportunity to test the veracity of one's intentions. Picking up a simple object, performing routine household tasks, or speaking words aloud suddenly feels endowed with significance far exceeding its apparent scope. The moon's pervasive influence touches the most elementary gestures, transforming them into miniature, potent acts of manifestation. It is as if the very rhythm of the day is acutely responsive to conscious attention, demonstrating the immediate outcomes that arise when personal energy and sharp focus remain perfectly steady. There is a discernible methodology inherent to this moment. It involves conscientiously observing small, deliberate actions and allowing them to interact synergistically with large, unfolding occurrences. Sitting in quiet contemplation while performing something utterly ordinary, sipping morning coffee, gently stretching tired muscles, or taking a measured walk, begins to feel like a sacred, amplified ceremony. Every movement is magnified in significance. Thoughts related to future plans, difficult conversations, or ambitious projects start sending immediate feedback that becomes strikingly clear through resultant outcomes. This cosmic shift effectively transforms awareness itself into a functional tool, rather than a distant, unreachable goal. Briefly closing the eyes deepens the internal focus instantly. There is absolutely no requirement for external ritual or complex ceremony. Simply sitting in a familiar space, feeling the body grounded in its established rhythm, establishes a vital bridge to the expansive energy unfolding externally. Tonight, every beat of focused attention functions as a precise magnet for the subtle signals that will guide the day forward. While the mind typically leaps impatiently into the future, the task now is to rigorously track what is immediately present and allow small, tangible results to emerge naturally. Words become potent, silent tools. Quietly stating intentions internally, not as forceful commands, but as gentle, precise markers of desired outcomes, immediately engages with the moon's rhythm. Something as simple as stating, "I am open to profound growth," instantly alters the foundational tone of internal thought. Repeating statements about presence, focused attention, or deep readiness generates a powerful, subtle internal alignment that dramatically shifts what subsequently manifests in the external environment. These are not magic incantations, but critical steps that let deeply held internal awareness perfectly greet external cosmic timing. Furthermore, deliberate movement is fundamental to this entire experience. standing tall, walking with intent, reaching purposefully for objects, or simply stretching muscles that have long been dormant, perceptibly shifts the surrounding energy. Actions cease to feel isolated from their ultimate results. Small organizational tasks, tidying a workspace, meticulously noting down objectives, or mindfully preparing a nourishing meal, assume significantly larger meaning. Each small act holds the inherent opportunity to interact directly with this powerful cosmic shift. Even moments of intentional stillness carry immense weight. Pausing before speaking, momentarily stopping movement, or considering a thought opens a crucial space for subtle, energetic interactions to occur. When the timing of a simple action meets genuine, present attention, the moon's influence seamlessly blends with the outcome. These pauses enable the recognition of results that would, under normal circumstances, be carelessly overlooked. Every single moment becomes a strategic node where targeted intentions can be planted. Like seeds, patiently waiting for the first tiny sprouts to appear. Employing intentional repetition without resorting to forceful demand multiplies the overall effect. Silently reciting phrases internally or performing small, sequenced hand movements helps steady the core awareness. The goal is not excessive activity, but the disciplined practice of a specific, steady rhythm that perfectly mirrors the energy January 27th carries. Nearby objects naturally transform into anchors for internal intention. Holding a cherished mug, rhythmically tapping a pen, or purposefully arranging a notebook, these simple, daily actions integrate into the larger energetic interaction. When observed consciously, even for a brief second, these objects reflect precise timing and readiness in a way that provides immediate, noticeable feedback. The moon's influence delicately interacts with these tiny, physical acts, delivering precise feedback through subtle shifts in events and outcomes. Sensory perception becomes sharply honed without the need for over-analysis. Heightened hearing, keen awareness of physical textures, and the recognition of recurring patterns in both sound and visual space all contribute to a remarkable clarity in everyday moments. Acute awareness of immediate surroundings becomes a critical, active tool. Actions, spoken words, and physical gestures gain previously unseen weight and power. What was once dismissed as routine now possesses the capacity to deliver clear signals guiding subsequent steps. The combination of focused physical movement and concentrated mental attention begins to reveal patterns that were previously entirely hidden from view. Daily routines now pulse with an energy that was noticeably absent before. Sitting, standing, reaching, walking, or simply turning attention towards an ordinary item opens direct interaction with the cosmic rhythm. These micro-moments compound exponentially as evening approaches. Small actions intentionally repeated, even on a subtle level, start generating tangible yet subtle results in behavior, attention span, and the events unfolding nearby. Simple affirmations, seamlessly embedded within daily activity, prove most effective. Quietly stating internally that actions are open pathways for progress, that choices inherently possess weight, or that focused attention truly matters, builds a steady, responsive interaction with cosmic timing and lunar energy. This transformative process is never about brute effort. It is about finely tuning the internal antenna to notice the profound effect that small, repeated internal markers have on results hours or days later. The objects and environments immediately surrounding you actively reflect the internal shift. The table surface, the weight of the notebook, the silent phone, or even a simple cup of tea. Any of these can function as potent triggers or reminders. Observing them while sustaining a clear intention dramatically amplifies the eventual outcomes. Movement and attention, flawlessly combined with the moon's precise timing, forge a deep alignment between one's internal rhythm and external interaction. The motion of your hands, the act of writing with a pen, or the simple stretch of the body shifts attention in unpredictable and beneficial ways. Tasks that appear utterly simple suddenly begin generating results that were previously impossible to anticipate. Everyday household items are now transformed into tools for energetic interaction. Even walking through a familiar room, consciously noting slight shifts in weight distribution or sound resonance, carries profound weight within the larger rhythm established by January 27th. Small, focused exercises, such as meticulously arranging items in a sequence, internally repeating an affirming phrase, or speaking gently while executing tasks, begin building palpable momentum. Immediate, observable results are not the requirement. The true key is the patient observation of what naturally unfolds thereafter. Internal markers, once set, begin to noticeably affect what appears externally. Lunar timing is supportive, but only when conscious attention and clear intention work in synergistic partnership. Energy previously stored and bound in habitual mechanical actions is consciously transformed. Folding laundry, pouring water into a glass, opening a new page in a notebook, or typing out messages now assumes a layer of new meaning. Tasks that once felt purely mechanical now hold a subtle, profound interaction with this larger timing. Each physical act generates a measurable reflection. Even minor deviations in routine send precise signals toward positive outcomes later in the day. Intentions that are set playfully or with deep casualness carry surprising impact. Simply stating internally, "I am ready for change," or "I notice what comes," transforms normal activity into dynamic interaction with the cosmic shift. Intentions need not be dramatic or emotionally charged. Even quiet, simple acknowledgement produces meaningful results. The moon's timing today subtly influences underlying cycles within the body and the mind. The acts of eating, moving, and communicating now carry amplified weight. Observing the outcomes generated by small actions becomes effortlessly easier. Awareness remains active without requiring excessive effort. Habits previously overlooked now actively interact with cosmic timing. Naturally, interactions with other people gain a quiet, subtle significance. Conversations, non-verbal gestures, or small acts performed during exchanges reflect later outcomes. Listening deeply, observing without judgment, and acting casually yet consciously in daily exchanges now carries immense weight. Spoken words and physical movements resonate, echoing later in small but remarkably noticeable ways. Moments of intentional pause, sequences of deliberate repetition, and actions deeply embedded with clear intention amplify the overall impact. Even when the immediate results are not instantly perceivable, the combination of timing and attention consistently generates small, unmistakable signs of forward movement. Every single step taken, every word spoken, and every gesture made becomes a refined tool for personal engagement with this powerful cosmic shift. Even the most straightforward choices today carry hidden significance. Choosing a specific food, deciding on a path to walk, or diligently noting small environmental details can powerfully amplify ultimate outcomes. The lunar influence touches these moments without ever demanding overt performance. Intentional, conscious awareness is what generates these results. Activities that previously felt entirely routine are now transformed into exercises in subtle influence. Folding, arranging, cleaning, typing, writing, speaking. Every repeated motion interacts precisely with the timing. The moon's powerful rhythm today repurposes small acts into essential markers for what will organically grow and manifest. Internal awareness deepens through the repeated, simple act of observation. Noticing objects, sustaining attention, and purposeful movement, all integrated with the lunar timing, facilitates active interaction with the external environment. Even minute adjustments, such as moving a notebook a few inches or picking up an ordinary object, carry measurable weight. Time itself takes on an altered quality. Hours seem to stretch without being forced or rushed. Clear patterns begin to emerge. Attention dedicated to small acts now clearly reflects in later results. Tasks, interactions, and physical movements interact with this timing to create subtle yet unmistakable shifts. Internal acknowledgement of readiness, patience, and diligent observation builds sustainable momentum. Repeating phrases of awareness internally while executing actions produces positive results without unnecessary force. Minor shifts in focus produce noticeable outcomes later. Even walking through familiar areas while carrying intentional markers subtly changes external interaction. The moon's energy today actively supports the observation of outcomes generated by small acts. Writing, purposeful moving, speaking, or focused listening now carries more weight than usual. Ordinary moments are gently transformed into guided, meaningful experiences. Gestures, choices, and focused actions begin producing profound reflections. The interaction between small, focused acts and cosmic timing reliably creates tangible impact. Observing the resultant outcomes is an essential part of the entire process. Tasks that normally feel mundane, rearranging objects, speaking to a friend, or tidying, become intense exercises in heightened awareness. Timing, focused attention, and clear intention work together seamlessly to produce subtle yet profound outcomes. Lunar influence today enhances the results derived from small, repeated acts. Every small repetition builds quiet momentum. Attention combined with daily movement interacts directly with cosmic timing. Results may appear later and subtly, but each conscious action is fundamentally important. Small gestures, quiet words, and measured movements now carry influence that would not otherwise exist. Interactions with others also reliably reflect this enhanced timing. Conversations, intentional gestures, and attention to conversational details show measurable outcomes later. Even casual interaction transforms into a tool for noticing how energetic shifts manifest. The body responds in subtly attuned ways. Movements, posture, and small adjustments interact with sustained attention to amplify outcomes. Ordinary gestures now carry more inherent influence than usual. Even when performing tasks without a rigid focus on immediate results, the outcomes are noticeably altered. The moon's presence interacts powerfully with repetition, attention, and deep intention. Observing results later provides clear evidence of how small acts profoundly influence larger events. Every small internal statement or subtle gesture now carries undeniable potential. Internal acknowledgement of readiness, openness, and sustained attention builds lasting impact naturally. Small actions interact with precise timing to showcase results later. Objects, physical movements, and minor repetitions now reflect the deep cosmic shift. Daily acts that were once purely routine now carry a subtle, charged interaction with the timing. Observing the unfolding results is critical to the process, revealing how ordinary moments carry extraordinary weight. Even casual actions produce surprising outcomes. Small gestures, focused movements, or repeated phrases internally carry immense weight when paired with conscious awareness. Lunar influence today interacts with repetition to amplify outcomes naturally and effectively. Ordinary spaces gain profound significance. A favorite cup, a reliable pen, or a simple notebook becomes integral parts of internal markers. Using them in simple, repeated acts generates tangible effects later. The moon's energy interacts with these acts to produce subtle, guiding shifts. Attention, embedded in movement, produces predictable outcomes. Walking, reaching, typing, or moving objects now carries profound significance. Actions no longer exist in isolation. Timing interacts with repetition to produce small but distinctly noticeable results. Even without an intense focus on external outcomes, events begin showing the impact from these small, deliberate acts. Each movement, gesture, or action is an essential part of a larger, guiding rhythm. Moon influence enhances these complex interactions naturally. Every repeated internal marker strengthens the eventual outcomes. Simple phrases or intentions set internally now interact precisely with the timing to influence results. Awareness grows steadily, without forceful effort. The day of January 27th fundamentally carries potent opportunities for reflection, achieved through tangible action. Small acts, repeated internally or externally, interact with timing to produce subtle, valuable guidance. Observing what happens next clearly shows the sustained influence of intention combined with the moon's rhythm. Every ordinary act gains essential meaning. Speaking, moving, arranging, or observing now reliably produces measurable results. Timing amplifies these positive outcomes. Lunar influence makes ordinary acts supremely significant. Internal statements, minor repetitions, and movement, seamlessly combined, create a deeply guided personal experience. Ordinary actions turn into exact reflections of cosmic timing. Observing the outcomes demonstrates the active interaction between focused attention and the moon's rhythm. This transformative process is paramount for today. Even small, seemingly insignificant acts now produce tangible effects later. Intentions, focused attention, and repeated movements interact synergistically with timing to create subtle, powerful shifts. Chosen ones, pay attention. The moments unfolding within January 27th carry a weight that the unawakened will completely overlook. As you move through your day, walking through a room, arranging items on your desk, or performing the most basic tasks, you are no longer just doing. You are entering a sacred theater where your internal focus meets cosmic timing. What once seemed like ordinary gestures are now invisible threads, weaving your immediate actions into your future outcomes. Every motion you make today has an echo. Every word whispered in the silence of your mind is a marker. When you repeat quiet affirmations like, "I am open to what comes," or I notice what grows around me. You do not need drama. You do not need to scream at the universe. These are small, surgical strikes of readiness that synchronize your heartbeat with the moon's rhythm. By stating these intentions while performing mundane tasks, folding clothes, making tea, or typing a message, brings a divine weight to the physical plane without requiring a single ounce of extra effort. Your physical temple is currently acting as a conductor for a higher frequency. Have you noticed? The power of the pause. A brief hesitation before you act, a moment of stillness before you speak. These are the 0-point gaps where intention is crystallized. Intentional motion. Adjusting your posture, the way you grip a pen, or how you organize your space, these aren't just habits. They are energetic alignments. Even the simple act of stacking objects neatly is now a signal to the matrix that you are reclaiming order from chaos. The echo effect. Observe your interactions. A casual greeting, a subtle shift in your tone, or a small gesture in conversation is sending ripples through the timeline. Watch how the world responds to you hours from Zur. You will see that coincidence is merely the mask the universe wears to remain anonymous. The moon's presence. Today acts as a massive amplifier for repetition and awareness. Your daily routines have been transformed into a divine laboratory. The objects you touch, your notebook, your coffee cup, the tools of your trade, have become anchors for your internal focus. Do not be deceived by the simplicity of these actions. In this high-vibration window, stretching your body or walking across a room carries more influence than 1,000 forced plans. You are building a cumulative momentum. The threads of your experience are converging at this precise coordinate in time. What was once scattered is now revealing its internal logic. The day is no longer random. It is a guided experience. As your recognition rises, you will realize a central truth. Everything that led you to this moment had a reason. The veil is not just thinning, it is dissolving through the power of your conscious action. You are no longer a passenger in this reality, you are the architect, and every small movement of your hand is a stroke of the master's brush. Chosen ones, understand this. The awareness you have accessed today is not a fleeting moment. It is a profound initiation into the mechanics of the universe and your sovereign role within it. This is not a coincidence, it is living evidence that every thought, every emotion, and every micro-action is a vital piece in the grand mosaic of reality. You are not merely an observer, you are the potential architect of your existence. The first lesson of this shift is the absolute power of intention and awakening. When you recognize the hidden logic of the matrix, you begin to choose your thoughts with surgical precision. Those small gestures we spoke of, the shifting of an object, a whispered phrase, a conscious breath, are no longer meaningless. They are seeds of light, planted in the fertile soil of this cosmic window. True power does not reside in grand, frantic gestures. It lives in the consistency of your consciousness within the smallest details. You are being called to unlearn the programming of the old world. The Matrix taught you to force, to struggle, and to control. But this shift invites you to a higher path. Observe, feel, trust. Believe that what is arriving is designed for your highest evolution. Sometimes the act of doing nothing while holding a steady internal frequency is the most powerful move you can make. This is the mastery of patience, the release of the need to control the outcome so you can finally enjoy the process of creating it. With high awareness comes high responsibility. As you begin to see the invisible threads linking all things, you realize your capacity to shift not only your own reality, but the collective field around you. This is not a burden. It is empowerment. It is a call to live more authentically, more kindly, and with absolute presence. Every interaction and every word now carries a different weight, not because of complexity, but because of its crystalline clarity. Consider January 27th not as a one-time event, but as the genesis point of a new way of being. This is your call to live in harmony between the internal temple and the external world. Continually seek the subtle signs. Trust your ability to architect the extraordinary from the ordinary. Let these reflections anchor you into the now. Allow this transmission to fuel your journey of discovery. When you understand the hidden logic, life ceases to be a series of random accidents. It becomes a perfectly composed symphony, and you, chosen one, are the conductor. The portal is active. Your integration is complete. Welcome to your highest timeline.